Hey, so I just wanted to jump on here and tell you guys about the show I saw tonight. It was at the Shed. Have y'all been to the Shed? If you've not been to the Shed, you need to go. It is magnificent venue. It is down by Hudson Yards. It's huge. It's fantastic. It's modern. It's very, very accessible. It was so cool to go to this show tonight because there were several people with walkers and wheelchairs and everybody just getting around so easily, and there was a guy rolling up to the bar, and it was just, oh, I just loved it. I was like, oh, this is how life should be everywhere. Anyway, yeah, these are the things that get me excited. Anyway, so enough about that. The point is this show was so moving to me. It's called Open Call, and it was by Garrett Zuercher. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Who's a deaf artist. I guess we'll call him director now as well. I don't even know his whole list of things that he's done, but I know it's a lot. And he's the one that brought this show together. And what was so cool is that I found out that he had actually been interviewing the deaf artists that were in the show, deaf artists, actors, that were in the show for several years, and he kind of put it all together in this wonderful performance. And there's no more left, so you're not going to be able to go now. Sorry. There were 3 shows. And I'm just so thrilled that I got to go to one. And the point I'm making by talking to you guys about it is that I learned so much. I mean, here I am, I'm in the disability community. I know, a lot of stuff, but that's what's so beautiful in this life and in this community is that there's always more to learn. And I just really got a lot out of this show because this was personal stories from the deaf community, deaf adults, and kind of what their history was or is, how they became deaf, what their high school life was like, what their college life was like, things like that. And I just loved it. And one of the main things that I thought was so interesting, that that's the other reason why I want to do this video, because as much theater as I go to, I had not heard this before. And what it is that a couple of the deaf performers talked about how much, when they go to Broadway or any show for that matter, how much they love and it helps them to get a script beforehand. And I don't know that you can really, do we do that here on Broadway? If not, we should. It should be an option, if you pay for the ticket, of course. I realize that would be expensive, but even if they could get it sent to them by email or something like that, a few days before, because what they said is that way they get more familiar with the show before they go, and that way I'm always about comprehension, like whatever we need to do to make sure everyone understands the point of this work of whoever wrote it. They spend all this time writing it. Don't you want to make sure everyone hangs on your every word and really, make sure all of that comes through? And so with captions and interpreters and scripts, that's what really drives it home, in my opinion. And so I just hadn't thought about that before. And I just wondered if that is something that is readily available on Broadway. If not, I just want you Broadway shows to maybe think about that, if that would be possible, upon request or something like that. So I learned that, and then I also learned about how most of the people, now I know this is not everybody because everybody is their own person, but I found it very interesting that the deaf people that were on the stage shared that they actually feel more at home with the deaf community and signing more than anyone else, rather than be in the hearing community. And even if someone else knows sign language, that was other thing that was interesting, is that several of the people came from families that their family, even though they knew their child was deaf, did not learn sign language. And I'm just kind of like taken aback with that. I don't have deafness in my family, but it's heartbreaking to me. I mean, I guess, and then I guess they're thinking that they'll learn, like they're trying to get like almost like a tough love is all I can figure. Like, okay, then they have to learn to read lips. Like if we do sign language, then that will get them off the hook with that when they really know how to do that, is the only thing I can think is why maybe a parent would do that, but who knows? So that was interesting. And then, oh God, what was the other thing I was going to say? That, but I just want to say also that I'm just so thankful that the Shed put this on and allowed Garrett to do this, and that these kinds of performances are what changes the world. I mean, I'm about to start crying, but it's all about just learning and understanding, and it just was really great to get to learn more about the deaf community in this way. And the place was packed. All 3 performances were sold out. So what's that tell you? We need more of this, please. And I also want to say thank you. Again, I don't want to get emotional, but it might happen. Is that even though I don't know sign language, all of you guys in the deaf community that I met tonight didn't hold that against me. And you welcomed me, and that meant a lot to me. So I really appreciate that. And I just love our community. That's it. I just love our community. So tonight I'm just proud to be, part of this community, advocating for what's right, and learning so much along the way, and spreading all the good news that is happening, because folks, things are changing. I know there's a lot of work, but wow, to have 3 packed performances for a deaf show at a major performance venue, I mean, this is it. Things are good. So let's keep the momentum, and great to meet everyone that I met tonight. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay, so I remembered what it was. This part was what really, I just keep thinking about this. One guy was a younger guy, and his parents, like, he was a kid. He didn't know that captions existed on the TV. You know, and just think about all the things in your life that if someone doesn't tell you, you don't know. And it's just so fascinating. Again, I mean, he was like, well, my parents weren't that tech savvy. But like, this is like, he's like, I don't remember how old he is. He looked to be maybe 30. I don't know, maybe even a little under 30. But the point is, captions have been around, I think they said since 1979, which is crazy. I actually thought it was before that. But yeah, his family didn't, no one told him that captions even existed. So it's just, you know, and he learned to read lips again. Oh, I know what it was. This was the other thing. The reason also why, talking back to the script again, is that what they said was it's hard even when there are captions. Like, let's say there's captions at the show, or you have them, you know, on your little tool. But the thing about it is you have to read so fast. And they said they actually, I thought this was very interesting, is that a lot of them said that the ASL performance is actually what they prefer, because I guess they can understand sign language quicker than they can reading the captions so fast. So I just thought that was so interesting. So another reason why they talk about you know, wanting a script. And, you know, I can't tell you, like, there is, like, let's just, like, yes, I want the script for the deaf community, but even, like, for the other community, is that, like, there have been times where I left the show and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is what they meant by that or this or whatever. And you can't really go back. You don't have a way, because it's some kind of new show or whatever. And I would love a script. There's been plenty of times where I would like to read the script. I don't think I'd want to read it before, but I think I would want to read it after. And maybe that's what they were saying, but I don't think that's what they were saying at the show. I think they actually wanted to get familiar with it before they went, if I remember right. But I'd love to get the script after the show. Do y'all agree? Like, I just wish we had that option, because there really are times where I'm so, like, engrossed in a show and I can't stop thinking about it, that I would love to revisit that and think about it some more. You know, I really would. So it's just things to think about. But again, thank you for an amazing experience, Garrett, the shed, everybody involved in the show. You guys rock. All right, bye.